is called Toad's Road Code. I think he's trying to cross the road. Oh, can you see all of the delicious cakes? They look so yummy. Toad's Road Code. The toad wore a coat and a big smiley grin, and a little bow tie nestled under his chin. His home was a hole at the side of the brook. It was neat, it was tidy. Come in, take a look. Oh, can you see? Looks very nice. This toad was a traveller and he liked to roam all over the marshes surrounding his home. But one day he thought, I think I shall wander to visit my cousin who lives way out yonder. From his cosy toad hole he skipped and he hopped with a nice gooey cake which he never once dropped. Can you see the cake in his hand? He whistled a tune as he bounced and he bopped to the road at the end of the marsh where he stopped. How diddly-do will I make it across, with neither myself nor the cake getting squashed? But I'm due at my cousin's for afternoon tea, so how hard can it be? I mean, seriously. So straightening his tie, he set off at a pace, with a hop, skip and jump, and with admirable grace, he launched himself into the first lane he saw and met with a terrible ear-splitting roar. Yikes! Went the toad, leaping out of his skin as he covered his ears at the terrible din. Frightened, he flattened himself to the road. Goodness, what was that? Did something explode? No, it was only the sound of a car, which passed him close by and zoomed off to afar. The toad, though had been given a bit of a start and lay in the road with his hands on his heart. It was a bit scary for him, wasn't it? Did you see the snail trying to cross as well? How diddly-do will I ever manage to cross the next lane without any damage? But I'm due at my cousin's for afternoon tea, so how hard can it be? I mean, seriously. So he gathered together his wits and his cake. He straightened his tie and proceeded to take a very deep breath. Then a hop, skip and jump to the very next lane where he met with a bump. Oh no! Up in the air went the cake and the toad. Splat went the cake as it squished on the road. Yikes went the toad, landing safe on the bank. Startled and shaken, what was that? A tank? Oh dear, he dropped the cake and it fell on the floor. No, not a tank, just a really big truck, which the toad was glad that it managed to duck. The cake, though, had taken the brunt of the wallop and lay on the road in a big, gooey dollop. My cake, wailed the toad as the truck flew on by. But he brushed himself down, then he straightened his tie and picked up all that remained of his cake, carried on to his cousin's small house by the lake. How do you do, diddly-do, said the toad. I'm so glad to see you, and goodness, it showed. Come in, said his cousin. Sit down if you're able. We'll have us some nice gooey cake at the table. The toad sat with his cousin, a frog, and they nattered of frog and toad things and of family matters. When finally their chat came around to the road and how to cross safely, the road safety code. Toad Road Code. Stop at the drop. It's too dangerous to hop. Look for things wheeled. Better keep your eyes peeled. Listen all around. Can you hear any sounds? If there's that you can see or can hear, then hop right across. You'll have nothing to fear. Oh, that's a good road code, isn't it? The toad thanked his cousin and ate some more cake, and finally looked at his watch. It was late. Well, thanks for tip and cake and the tea, but I'd better be going now, seriously. The frog gave him a hug, then gave the toad his jacket and the last piece of cake in a brown paper packet. Remember the code, he said with a wave, as homeward the toad hopped, feeling happy and brave. So soon, sure enough, the toad came to the place where cars and big trucks and more dangerous things raced. So he tried to remember his cousin's advice. Here goes, said the toad, and he remembered himself twice. Stop, look, and listen, the toad's cousin had said. So, mopping droplets of sweat from his head, he stopped at the curb, cocked his ear, and then watched. And when all was clear, he hopped safely across. Hooray! Laughed the toad in delight and relief. Then he stuck out his chin with that tie underneath, which he straightened once more so it didn't look funny, and bounced all the way home just as brisk as a bunny. How diddly happy am I to be back, said the toad as he hung up his coat on the rack. He loosened his tie and said loudly, yawning, oh, I think I shall visit again in the morning. Oh, that was good. He's got home now, hasn't he? The toad wore a coat and a big toothy grin, and a little bow tie nestled under his chin. He lives in a brook by a marsh near a road, which he crosses quite often. Oh, thanks to the code. Can you remember the code? Do you remember what it said? What's the first thing you have to do? You have to stop. And then the second thing you have to do? Look for things wheeled. Can you see any cars? Better keep your eyes peeled. Then what do you have to do after you've looked? You have to listen. Can you hear any sounds? And if there's nothing that you can see or can hear, you can hop right across. You have nothing to fear. And that is the Toad Road code, isn't it? And look at all the cakes again. I wonder what cake you would choose. I think I'm going to have the one with the cherry on the top. Delicious. Wow, that was a good story. I'm glad Toad was able to cross the road safely because he followed the road safety rule, didn't he? Wow, good job, Toad. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye, everybody.